Now, from News Channel 8, this is Good Morning Washington.
Back here at 8:31 this morning, and the fight over how to best protect our kids in school is still an ongoing battle. SSI Guardian is a company that describes itself as using the best practices and protocols to provide schools and organizations with the training they need to be protected. President Michael Yorio joins us today to share the details on the company's new Stop the Threat workshop. And this is a workshop that's taking place tomorrow in Dulles.
Tomorrow morning.
In Herndon. Sadly, it's sold out, though, which I guess is actually a really good sign.
It is sold out. It's a good sign that people are taking school safety very, very serious. But I would encourage everybody in the D.C. area, you never know, somebody may cancel. You may want to take a chance. It will be at the Hyatt Regency in Herndon.
Okay, so is this a workshop for parents, for students, for school administrators and faculty and teachers? Who are you targeting here?
So this conference primarily targets school safety professionals, both in K through 12 and higher education.
So like school resource officers.
School resource officers, school police chiefs, etc. There will be some administrators there too. But we do various workshops that do, in fact, target parents, school administrators.
Okay, let's talk about some of the practices, or I guess the guidelines and protocols that are in place now. In an active shooter situation, what is the standard protocol for those school resource officers and for teachers to keep kids safe?
Unfortunately, that's one of the things that's missing, and we desperately need as a country. We need best practice guidelines and standards so that all schools throughout our great country will be operating from that same point of guidance. So essentially, every school does things a little bit different, and that can cause chaos at times.
Yeah, a little confusion there. If we can, the video that we were actually showing while we were discussing that is what I want to get to next, and that is a type of lock that you guys have developed, because doors in schools are not allowed to have certain kind of locks.
So it depends on the state. So if we look at Parkland, Florida, if we look at Santa Fe, neither of those schools had classroom locks that could lock from the inside of the classroom. So by virtue of that requirement or that policy or that methodology, you can't do an effective lockdown. So that's the very first step. It's very basic, and it goes beyond that. It's not just that the lock locks from the inside of the classroom, but is it the right lock? Is it fire code compliant, ADA compliant? Does it satisfy Department of Homeland Security primary recommendations, which is a report that DHS issued following Sandy Hook? And they gave some excellent guidance. The lock needs to be locked from the inside of the classroom, to be locked very quickly and simply, something as simple as pressing a red button so that anybody can lock that door. If the teacher is not in the room at the time of the shooting, then the kids would be at risk. People panic, keys are lost, car keys are lost. So it's very important that it's mechanical and anybody can lock that door in a split second. You have the added feature with the quick action lockdown of deadbolt locking protection. So you're getting maximum locking protection for our innocent youth.
I mean, this seems, given that, you know, the number of school shootings we've seen just this year alone, that getting these locks into every single classroom in every single school across the country would not be a hard task. Is there any pushback?
There are. I mean, there is, because schools take a different look at this. Sometimes it's funding, predicated on funding, that schools will opt for lesser expensive products, but in the end, they don't keep them safer. So school districts have different approaches to this. To your point, it should not be. Quite frankly, that's one of the most important things that a school can do. And it goes beyond that. We also, if I reference Parkland, one of the multiple students were shot through that view panel, that glass in the classroom door. So it's about having a lockdown shade. So we have what we call a 21st century safe classroom. It's quick action lockdown, the lockdown shade, and then a stop the bleed kit in the classroom in the event somebody incurs life-threatening bleeding.
Okay. I would think that, you know, when you're talking about funding here, there is no price tag on keeping your students alive.
There truly is no price tag on an innocent life.
Right.
Schools have options as well. If there's a budget shortfall, we can do a fundraising event. There are grants out there. There are a myriad of ways. There could be a reallocation of assets, because without safety, we know, studies show, you cannot have an effective learning environment without safety.
Truly. All right. Michael, really great information. And again, the event that is taking place tomorrow from 9:30 until 12:30 at the Hyatt Regency Dulles in Herndon. It is sold out, but if anybody has any interest in this, like you said, some people may have to cancel last minute.
That's right.
Check it out. Thank you so much for coming in. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. My pleasure.